Wally took down Heatwave with the help of Grodd, but how will he fare against Weather Wizard? Kindtown, Missouri. Wally West walks down a long and lonesome road. Behind him, lightning flashes and thunder rumbles. Grodd pulls himself out of Wally's bag, squeaking in fear and trying to hide beneath Wally's leg. "Hey, what's wrong? It's just some thunder," Wally says softly, trying to soothe his friend. But Grodd shakes his head. "Not just a storm, not just thunder," Grodd thinks, his voice echoing in Wally's mind. Wally bends down. "What do you mean, Grodd? You're freaking me out a bit," Wally thinks back. Grodd leaps up and wraps his arms around Wally's neck, pulling himself into a hug. "Grodd's scared! Grodd wants to go home!" Grodd whispers in Wally's mind. Wally holds him tight. "I know, me too, bud, but we can't. We don't have a home anymore," Wally tells him. Suddenly, the rain begins to pour around them. Wally turns and heads towards a nearby gas station. "Let's get out of the rain and find some food. I'm soaking and starving," Wally tells his friend. He passes by the front window and looks at his reflection for a moment. But when Wally turns away and walks inside, he doesn't realize that his reflection continues to watch him. Inside, the old woman behind the counter eyes the teen with disdain. "Mornin'. Quite the storm," she tells him in annoyance. Wally nods as he steps in front of the counter. "Yeah, it's really coming down," he tells her. Sheepishly, he looks up and asks if it would be possible to loan him some food. I don't have any money or anything, but I'm really hungry and I'm just trying to get home," he says. The woman looks him up and down. "I ain't running no charity here. No money, no food," she grunts at him. Wally nods in sadness. "I was afraid you were gonna say that. Look, I'm really sorry. I don't normally do this," he sighs. Suddenly, energy begins to pulse out of him as he races around the gas station in a blur, grabbing food and drinks. "Hey, what are you? Hey!" the woman yells as Wally keeps apologizing. He turns and races towards the door, but suddenly, his energy zeroes out and he tumbles to the floor as his eyes roll into the back of his head. The armful of food falls to the floor and scatters around him. Shocked, the woman looks over the counter at the boy on the floor. She mutters as she reaches for the phone. Meanwhile, at Fort Fox, Colonel West has been pushed to his knees while a mercenary pushes a pistol into the back of his head. "Kill him," Eleanor Thawne orders. But West shouts for them to wait. She cocks an eyebrow as she pulls the black hood off his head. "Why should I spare you, West? What use are you to me now?" she asks. West looks up at her, explaining that he just wants to save his son and promises to do anything she wants as long as it gets him back safely. Eleanor thinks on it for a moment before nodding to her mercenaries. "Let Colonel West up. He's part of the team after all," she tells them. West stands and motions to the chamber, to the trapped beings in the stasis tubes. "What is this, Thawne? What are you really doing here?" he asks. Thawne smiles at the strange creatures and puts her hand against the glass. This is our predecessor. They found it first. They beat us to it. They found God," she says softly. 50 miles west of the Missouri state line, the rogues are in the aircraft tracking Grodd and Wally. Digger points to the map, telling Captain Cole that the kid and the monkey are in the eye of the storm. "In that case, Digger, take us in," Snart orders. Later, Wally awakens to find himself in a county jail cell. He sits up to find the local sheriff looking at him through the bars. "Picked a hell of a day to shoplift, kid. That storm is coming down hard. Don't know where you think you were going to go," the sheriff says as he turns back and reaches for Wally's backpack. "Look, sir, I am really sorry. I swear I won't do it again," Wally starts to say. But the sheriff opens his bag and his eyes widen in shock at the strange outfit inside. "What the hell is this?" the sheriff asks. Wally is surprised that Grodd wasn't in the bag, unaware of where his little friend is. Suddenly, thunder rumbles outside. The sheriff looks to the window in surprise. "Damn, that thunder is," he starts to say. But the wall suddenly explodes inward, throwing him to the ground and knocking him out. Wally looks up in shock as the rogues step through the debris. "Hey West, long time no see," Golden Glider tells him. "That's the best one-liner you could come up with, Lisa?" Trickster asks as she steps past her and grabs Wally's uniform. "Nice outfit," Trickster notes. The rest of the rogues step forward, prepared for Wally to try and run. "What's the matter, kid? Can't pull your Crimson Ghost escape trick?" Trickster asks. Wally shakes his head, still barely able to stay conscious. "I'm so hungry, can't do anything," he groans. He looks at Snart and tells him that Grodd is missing. Snart reaches for the tracker in his pocket. "Here's the deal. We can track Grodd. So how about we get you out of there, and if you promise not to pull anything, we'll find the monkey together, and then get the hell out of this place. What do you say, West?" Snart offers. Wally thinks about it for a moment, before nodding and agreeing to the terms. Snart draws his pistol and freezes the bars of the cell, allowing Lisa to kick them to pieces. Trickster hands Wally his uniform. I'm gonna need a snack," Wally tells them. Outside, the rain and wind pelt the group. Digger checks the tracker and shouts to Snart that Grodd is heading into the eye of the storm. Snart stares at the storm as it seems to grow stronger before their eyes. "We can't go in there. We gotta cut our losses and take the kid back," Snart finally shouts to his team. But Wally shakes his head as he finishes the energy bar that they gave him. "No way! We are not leaving Grodd!" he shouts in anger. Snart cocks an eyebrow at him. "Oh yeah? And what are you gonna do on your own, Kid Flash?" he asks. Suddenly, energy begins to spark around Wally as he takes off in a blur, running towards the storm. "I'm going to save my only friend!" Wally shouts over his shoulder. He begins to push through the storm, the wind slowing him down as he runs against it. "Grodd? Grodd!" Wally shouts from his mind. But suddenly, a bolt of lightning leaps out of the sky and slams into him, knocking Wally across the ground. Wally quickly opens his eyes to find Grodd kneeling next to him. "Wally! Storm Man! Storm Man!" Grodd shouts in Wally's mind. Wally pulls himself up and looks into the swirling storm, shocked to find someone walking towards him. The man's eyes and hands glow with the power of lightning, and he holds a glowing staff aloft. "I am not going back!" the weather wizard shouts. He points the staff, and another bolt of lightning leaps down to strike Wally, knocking him away. "Where? Fort Fox? Are you from Project Olympus? I'm from there too. They did this to me. Barry Allen, Wally starts to say. But the wizard bellows in anger and tosses a whirlwind at Wally. "Allen? Barry Allen did this to me!" he roars, another bolt hitting near Wally, tossing him aside again. "How about a little help here, Grodd? Can't you mind zap him or something?" Wally asks. But Grodd shakes his head and cowers. "Grodd's scared," the tiny chimp whispers mentally. The wizard stands over them. "Stay down," he orders. But Wally shakes his head and stands, glaring at the man. "You know, I tried to be nice, and I admit, letting that lightning hit me hurt like hell. But it got me thinking, what if I don't let it hit me? What if I let it inside?" Wally says. Lightning leaps out of the sky again, but this time, Wally allows it to strike him. He takes the energy inside his body and allows it to power his speed. You know what? Suddenly, I'm not so hungry anymore. Wally notes as energy begins to pulse around him. Red lightning cracks off his body as he rushes forward, slamming into the wizard with his fist and knocking him out with one blow. Suddenly, the storm completely stops. The clouds gently push away until the day clears in a matter of moments. No more bad storm, Grodd thinks. Wally nods and agrees. No more bad storm. Behind them, the rogue's vehicle quickly approaches. Wally turns and prepares to run, but Snart jumps out. "Wait! Hold up, kid," he shouts. Wally shakes his head and tells them he's not going back. Snart nods as he looks at his team. "Neither are we," Snart says. Digger looks at him confused. But Snart turns to his team. "We're the weapons now. We can do whatever we want. We can take whatever we want," he explains to them. He turns back to Wally and smiles. "So, how about it, kid? Wanna go rogue?" he asks, and Wally smiles. And that was the complete story of Absolute Flash issue 7 by Jeff Lemire. Wally is about to go rogue. Will the team betray him, or are we actually going to get a team up with a new Team Flash Rogue Edition? We'll just have to wait and find out. But if you enjoyed today's video, leave a comment down below. Like it, and subscribe to the channel to get notified every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when new videos go live. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, man.